the audience, please. My name is Jennifer, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to budget so well that it becomes second nature. According to CNN Money's Angela Johnson, 3 out of 4 Americans do not have enough money in their account to account for a job loss or a major medical emergency. Could you imagine if you lost your job today? Could you pay rent next week? I know I couldn't, so we're kind of all in the same boat. Learning to properly budget is the key to making these issues not affect you as much. Spending many years working for nonprofits, I went from jobs that paid me very well to jobs that I loved, but they didn't pay me a whole lot. So I had to learn to utilize every penny that I made and make the best life out of it. And that's really important. So I kind of consider myself not an expert, but I'm very comfortable with learning how to take what I have and get the most out of it. The biggest thing that I enjoy is that I shared this with my partner Colleen, and her living on financial aid, a small-time university job, she's been able to not just live on her financial aid, she's been actually able to go out and have fun and not worry about every bill because she knows their bills are covered. And that's the most important part, is learning where your money goes. Today I'll explain to you how to design, follow, reevaluate, and create a budget that you'll know so well that you'll create these great spending habits that it's second nature to you. Buying a couple of beers at the bar or going and shopping for a dress, you're not going to have to worry about what money that's coming out of or where it's going, because you'll know that your bills are covered and you have this little bit of fun money on the side. So the key to that is knowing the definitions of designing a budget. Some of those are what actual needs versus actual wants are. So Scott Hollowell from USAA's Money blog says that you have 2 types of needs. One's absolute necessities and one's near necessities. So absolute necessities are food, clothing, shelter. You have to wear clothes, you have to be fed, you have to have a roof over your head. You don't need a car. You don't need the insurance that you have to have when you own a car. And you don't need the utilities in your house, technically, although I know most of us love having those utilities. Everything outside of that is financial wants. Bars, drinks with your friends and stuff, that's a want. Most of us might consider it a necessity. Cable television, a want. You don't need it to live. So the first part of that is actually designing a proper budget and figuring out where everything goes. So once you figure out that budget and you've created that income, you've figured out where it's at, and you've taken that expenditure, all of your expenses, and you know where they're at, putting the 2 together and hoping out you end up in the black. You want to be on the black side of that. If you're in the red, you're going to have to trim a couple of other places. We'll talk about them a little bit later, but some of those places you can trim are where you're spending your money, how you're buying groceries, or how you're utilizing utilities in your house. But the biggest thing is knowing what is the necessity and what's not. So once you've created that budget and you've started following it day to day, you'll start to kind of notice trends in your spending. That's one of my favorite parts of budgeting is I really love learning how to find these trends. And the big place that I cut them out, a lot of Americans spend excess on fancy food, fast food, fancy clothing, name brand purses. And those are all wants. None of those are needs. You need a t-shirt, you need a pair of shorts. You don't need these fancy purses and things like that to get day to day. So trimming those things away and learning how to thrift for a lot of things around your house or a lot of your clothing as well is really important. So once you've created that budget and you've figured out what you can spend, the next thing to think about is following that budget. You don't have to manage it day to day. You don't have to look at it all the time. But one of the things I really like is the first couple of months when I change my budget, I'll watch my receipts. I'll figure out where every penny goes, and then if I see some excess spending because I got a little too crazy, I'll trim them down and I'll figure out where they're at. CNN Money recommends creating a budget worksheet. I did this for a long time and I enjoyed it, but once I learned how it worked, I had to follow it all the time. So CNN Money says you should take a budget and fill in all the money you spend every week. I find that following my receipts and having my bills paid for ahead of time really covers a lot of this for me. Colleen Jennings, this was one of her favorite parts of budgeting because she didn't have to track every penny. She just knew that she had her fun money allowance and she had the expenses that she had. So the fun money allowance is one of my favorite parts about budgeting. So the fact is you take your expenses and you take your income, and once they're gone, you determine how much you can put into savings and how much you want to have to spend for non-designed expenses. You don't know where they're going to go, but you have it in your wallet. So that's the biggest thing. Most Americans have no problem swiping a debit card and are watching that money just like, oh, I guess it went through, so it's fine. How many of you guys actually have cash in your wallet right now? Any of you? Oh, so it's 2 out of 4. Well, I'll tell you this much. When you hand that $10 bill to a waitress at a bar, it hurts a lot more than swiping that debit card, doesn't it? I mean, I know it does for me. When I see those $10 leave, I'm just like, oh, that's 10 out of my 40 I have to leave. So that's another thing. It's just making sure you know where your money goes and how it goes there and kind of when it goes there. You can also save a lot of money by budgeting around your house, turning off the water when you brush your teeth. Personally, Colleen and I built a rainwater containment system in our house. And within 30 days, I saw our water bill drop $12. That was pretty awesome. $12 might not sound like a lot to you, but it sounds like a whole lot to me. And I really enjoyed that. So the biggest thing is building those healthy habits that every day when you go shopping, you're not worried about every penny because you've already designed this healthy habit of spending. And one of those key ways is shopping generic brands versus name brands. One more time. So you can see right here, Cheerios, you'll save $1. Ziplocs, you'll save $2. 5 bag of flour, another $1. Tylenol, $5. And they have the same ingredients. They're not made any differently. But you save half the price by not buying the name brand. You buy the Great Value brand, the Family Dollar plan. It's all the same stuff. It's just marketed for a different purpose. So you can trim your budget in numerous ways by doing things like this. Now, once you've built those healthy habits and you've found those little niches that you can trim your budget, the next thing is just keeping that up. And the key to that is reevaluating your budget. When your job changes, you don't have as much income, or you might have more income. Or maybe you changed I changed my grocery plan from $200 to $125 in 1 month of just not buying extraneous things, like not buying 5 pounds of onions, buying the 2 onions I may use in those 2 weeks. It's that minor, and you'll never realize it. And so just building those healthy habits and following those healthy habits are very important. One of the great ways I do it is biking to the market on Saturdays. I ride my bike, I save the gas driving to Walmart. Guess what? I can only hold so many groceries on my bike. So I'm not going to buy all these extra items. I'm also not tempted by walking into Walmart that has all these other things I don't need that I may want to purchase. I buy what's at the farmer's market. And then it's a cash money business. I brought $20, I can spend $20 and I have to go home. So I wasn't tempted with all these other things. And that was really nice. According to AAMC, you can also buy in bulk non-perishables. It's similar to Sam's Clubs and Costco. You can go buy 4 boxes of cereal for the price of 2. And you can save a lot of money that way. Also, clipping coupons, I really recommend. Now, living paycheck to paycheck is not fun. But if most of us will follow this very simple plan of creating a budget, tracking our spending, adjusting where necessary, changing for your lifestyle changes, and then creating those wonderful, healthy habits that become second nature, next thing you know, you're in financial freedom. You're not worried when your tire blows in your car, hey, yeah, I have the $100 to buy a new tire. Or you need an oil change. Or something else medically may happen to you. Or you may lose your job and you can still pay next month's rent. The biggest thing is all of us cannot make millions of dollars a year. But we are in charge of the amount of money we make and making the most out of it. So if we can make the most out of it, we will not only be financially secure, we'll be much happier people. Done. What's the time on that?